What if I told you that the reason your life feels stuck isn't money, isn't time, and isn't your past, but the way you were taught to think? It's not bad luck, it's programming. You were trained to follow, obey, fit in, but the path you're on was never really yours. It was handed to you by school, by family, by society, and you didn't even realize you signed a silent agreement. Think like everyone else, or get left behind. But you were never meant to live like the 95%. You feel it. Deep down, something's calling you to break free. Yet that little voice whispers, just fit in, it's safer. So you repeat the same doubts, the same fears, the same beliefs about what's realistic, about what's possible. But let me tell you something. Manifestation doesn't fail. It reflects. It only gives you what you believe is possible. And as long as you keep thinking like the crowd, your reality will stay exactly like theirs. The true cost of an extraordinary life isn't effort. It isn't time. It's the courage to think like no one around you, to break away from the herd and become a creator. Do you know why most people never manifest anything beyond the basics? Because they live like ships without a rudder. They're not going anywhere. They're just drifting with the current. And worse, they think that's normal. They follow what the world says, what Instagram shows, what others expect. But let me tell you a secret no one talks about. Most people are lost, and they don't even know it. They wake up, eat, work, sleep, and repeat the cycle, believing that someday, out of nowhere, their dream life will knock on the door. Spoiler, it won't. Because what they're following isn't a journey, it's a program inherited from parents, friends, society. Recycled thoughts, borrowed fears, limitations that aren't even theirs. They live as if life is happening to them, not through them. And you know what's crazier? They never stop to question the path they're on. They take advice from people who are frustrated. They listen to the fears of those who never tried. They live under the motto, better safe than free. But safety without purpose is just a prison with pretty curtains. Meanwhile, time passes, and they keep walking the same streets, making the same choices, living the same days, believing they're right, just because everyone else is doing the same. But let me tell you an uncomfortable truth. The most crowded path almost always leads to nowhere. It seems safe, but it's slow, predictable, shallow, and the final destination is regret. Real manifestation begins the moment you stop thinking like the collective. It's not about abandoning people. It's about abandoning limiting ideas. When you break that silent mental contract with the crowd, you take back control of your reality. You stop copying and start creating. And that simple choice is what separates the 5% who manifest from the 95% who merely survive. They're not smarter. They're not luckier. They just made one decision that changes everything: to stop seeking approval and start seeking alignment. There comes a time when you have to stop everything and decide, not the kind of decision you make when you're excited and drop the next day. I'm talking about a real decision, the kind that comes from the soul, that closes the door to plan B, that burns the bridge behind you. The world is full of indecisive, confused people waiting for signs. But you can't manifest anything from confusion. Confusion drains energy. Clarity concentrates it. If you don't know what you want, the universe has nothing to deliver. Because while you're in doubt, you vibrate in doubt. And what comes back to you? More doubt, more indecision, more delay. People avoid deciding because they know what comes next: responsibility. To decide is to take ownership. It's saying, I am this person. I will live this truth. And that takes courage. It takes killing old versions of yourself, leaving behind old habits, the old what ifs, the excuses that used to protect you from change. But here's the detail no one tells you. When you truly decide, reality reorganizes itself. You don't need to know the how, you only need to know the who. Who do you want to become? And then become that person, one step at a time. This isn't desperation. It's not frantic action. It's devotion. It's showing up every day with your focus on the vision, not on fear. Acting as if it's already real. Thinking as if it's already real. Speaking as if it's already real. When your energy aligns with your decision, manifestation stops being effort and becomes consequence. You don't force, you attract, you don't beg, you magnetize. And it all begins with one choice: decide and devote. There's a key that almost no one sees when talking about manifestation. You're not here just to receive. You're here to serve. And I'm not talking about canceling yourself or sacrificing. I'm talking about creating something that makes the world breathe differently because you exist. The common mind lives in scarcity mode. It believes that for one to win, another must lose. So it rushes, competes, screams for attention, as if the universe were a knife fight in the dark. But the creator doesn't compete. The creator creates. And the one who creates doesn't need to scream, because the whole world goes silent to listen. While most are chasing validation, likes, approval, the creator is delivering value, solving problems, offering beauty, leaving a trail of transformation wherever they go. And then the universe responds, because the universe doesn't echo screams. It echoes frequencies. You want to know what really attracts blessings? Purpose in action. When you serve with intention, with presence, with real devotion, life moves differently. You become a channel, a bridge, an answer to someone's need. And when your existence improves someone else's life, the universe rewards you, always. This isn't just a nice speech. It's a spiritual code. It's an invisible law. The more you give, the more the world gives back. And it's not just money. It's alignment, meaning, peace. A deep knowing that you stopped surviving and started overflowing. So stop thinking like a competitor. You're not here to fight for space. You're here to occupy yours with brilliance, with presence, with creation. Serve as someone who remembers they are a source. And watch the world bow to your contribution. There comes a point in the journey when you must stop looking for proof and start holding the vision, because the eyes of the world won't see it yet, but you will. Most people only believe in what's already done. If they can touch it, see it, measure it, then they trust it. But here's the problem. Every new reality begins invisible. Every transformation begins in silence. And if you wait for the world to approve it first, you'll bury your dream while it's still in the cocoon. They'll doubt you. They'll call you delusional. They'll laugh. But that's not a sign you're wrong. It's a sign you're ahead of your time. Your future already exists. It just hasn't become physical yet. And for it to be born, someone has to believe in it before it happens. That someone is you. Creating an extraordinary life requires inner vision. You don't need statistics. You don't need permission. You don't need anyone to understand. You just need a faith that can withstand the noise. Because what you're building wasn't meant to be understood right now. It was given only to you, planted only in you, and your role is to protect it, to nourish it in silence, to grow it in the dark, until it blooms in front of everyone. And then, when the impossible becomes your new normal, they'll call it a miracle. They'll call it a gift. They'll ask how you did it. But you'll know. You held the invisible long enough for it to become inevitable. That's true manifestation, creating what doesn't yet exist, and becoming the one capable of sustaining it. The truth is simple. The outer world only changes when your inner world changes first. But most people do the opposite. They try to fix everything outside, to rush, to manipulate, to force, without realizing they're trying to change the mirror, without changing the face reflected in it. Real manifestation doesn't respond to your effort. It responds to your vibration. And vibration is the result of your mind, your focus, your inner peace. You can't plant thoughts of fear and expect to harvest a life of peace. You can't live buried in doubt and expect clarity. What you cultivate internally becomes the landscape you walk through. So sharpen your mind, silence the noise, guide your thoughts like someone sharpening a blade. Don't just think what appears. Think what strengthens you. Speak what aligns with who you want to become. Live internally in the world you want to build externally. This isn't poetry, it's law. The frequency you hold within yourself eventually shapes everything around you. Chaos can't enter when your peace is real. Criticism can't penetrate when your truth is anchored. Scarcity can't find space when you become the source. Mastering your inner world doesn't mean controlling everything. It means guiding, choosing the frequency, staying centered even when the world shakes. And when that happens, the universe aligns, not by magic, but by resonance. As within, so without, always. Manifestation only works when you stop thinking like everyone else. Not because you're better, but because you've awakened. While most people are repeating fear, doubt, competition, you're choosing clarity, intention, presence. You start remembering that your life isn't a reaction, it's a creation. And to create, you need courage. Courage to decide while others hesitate, to serve while others only want to receive, to believe in the invisible while everyone else demands proof. This is the path of the few, the 5%, the ones who don't seek approval, they seek alignment, who don't compete, they create, who don't imitate, they shape. Everything you're searching for already exists in the form of frequency, of potential, of seed. But it won't bloom while your mind is still rooted in old patterns. You can't plant a new future in soil contaminated by old beliefs. The mind must be renewed, not once, but every day, with intention, with awareness, with devotion. You must stop being the echo and become the signal. Because when that happens, reality shifts, not all at once, but steadily, irreversibly. Because the universe doesn't respond to the masses. It responds to the one who dares to think differently from them. So let the world watch. Let them doubt. You're no longer trying to manifest like them. You're manifesting because you no longer think like them. You chose clarity over confusion, creation over comparison, alignment over approval. And by doing that, you return to a sacred truth. You're not here to reflect the world. You're here to shape it. Thought by thought, choice by choice, reality by reality. Manifestation is not a wish. It's a state of being, and you are becoming unstoppable.